afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you're in. I am your host, Skeptically Speaking.
And I am Sweet Pea from across the pond.
And do we have a show for you? Now, I don't know. Every time I worry that there's going to be a lack of material to work with. You know what happens after I end this show? I worry about what the next topic is going to be. By the way, you're going to hear some background. I do have a fan running. We had a recent heat wave. It lasted all day, and it is completely muggy where I'm at. So I apologize in advance if you hear a lot of background noise. I'm trying to shield the mic with my body, so we're going to do the best we can, folks. But the one thing I worry about as soon as I stop recording is what is going to be our next subject. You know, I have these worries because it's like, oh, shit, I haven't looked at the news for the last 2 days. What are we going to talk about? But there turns out to be an absolute embarrassment of riches, of topics that we can talk about. You know, it just never stops. It really doesn't. It just, I don't know what to say. So, go ahead.
Have you heard the latest?
Oh, do fill me in.
The latest embarrassment? So, do you remember that Trump was going to press charges against that guy that was running the paper in 2024? Rupert Murdoch, was it?
Rupert Murdoch, who runs the Fox News empire.
Yes. Now, do you remember that? Yeah. Do you remember that lawsuit went away and it was like never spoke of again, buried, wherever? So apparently now Trump is putting out a lawsuit against Washington Post for posting a letter, a happy birthday letter from Trump to Epstein.
To Jeffrey Epstein.
Trump is venomously denying that he wrote that, and he's going to sue them. But Trump is forgetting that if he goes through with this lawsuit, he has to go on record and he has to swear that he is telling the truth.
Which he can't
Which
do.
means... Exactly, which also as well means that they will be bringing up Ghislaine Maxwell as a witness. It's going to be a circus. I can't wait.
What do you think the odds are about this being either dropped or settled?
I think Trump is going to drop it so hot, he's going to drop it like a hot potato. He doesn't want his base realizing that he's been lying to them from the get-go.
Well, I have to wonder. I think they already know they're being lied to, and they're okay with it. It depends on the lie, though.
Yeah. But,
yeah, we may get into that at a later date, the whole Jeffrey Epstein and the Donald Trump debacle.
We can definitely do that, but I'm excited to know what latest debacle that you have for us today.
Ugh. Well, before we get into that, we're going to, in case, if you look in the Google chat, you're going to see what I've posted in there. But here we have a Pablo Picasso comparison to Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. I call this the Picasso from hell.
Oh my God, I was literally reading about that In and Out earlier.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's like, it's like, yeah, this is the match made in hell. This is the friendship of grossness to the 12th power.
The poor, hard done by little billionaire. She wants to join the rest of us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's ahead of us. But so I've been seeing a string of police brutality videos. Some of them are so blatant. We're going to be talking about police brutality, and the latest example, I mean, the last video I saw that happened this year was so triggering. It was unbelievable. A black man with his hands raised in the air, the glass on the driver's side gets shattered. A police reaches in, punches him in the face from the side. I'm sure you've already seen it. But in case you haven't, this is what we're going to talk about.
I haven't seen that yet, but I did see another video of somebody strapping what is supposed to be somebody on the back of their truck with a Confederate flag.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yep. I saw that a little while ago. That's gross enough.
That was disgusting. It was.
Yeah. So this meme here, it's a picture of Willy Wonka, and it says, "Here's an idea. How about let's make police brutality settlements come from police retirement funds or pension plans instead of our tax dollars, and you watch how fast police brutality plummets to an all-time low." What a novel idea. We have been hemming and hawing about this from day one. I mean, this has just been going on for far too long. It's about goddamn time we start holding the police accountable for what they're doing and what they've done. I mean, I am so sick of it. And if I'm sick and tired of it, the black community is sick and goddamn tired of it. And that's about high time we started screaming the place down.
Exactly.
Here's the next
Things
one.
Are not.
Go ahead. Did you have anything to say about?
I was just going to say things are not going to change unless white people actually stand up and start shouting about shit. Time for things to change. We can't let things go on much longer the way they are.
And the sad thing is, it's only when it affects us then it's a problem. You ever notice that? It's atrocious. Yeah, absolutely
it's disgusting. Atrocious. It is.
Okay,
it is.
Here is the next. This is what I call a wimpy billionaire. I'm just going to expand that just so just so everybody gets a good glimpse of this Karen, this billionaire Karen. So apparently this billionaire heiress, she's leaving California. Do you want to know why she's leaving? I'm sure you can guess. It's right there.
I do, but I'm going to give you a chance to explain.
I know you're just can't wait to hear it.
I know. I'm going to let you break to our audience the audacity of this woman.
I mean,
the audacity of her.
She finds it too difficult to raise kids and do business. Yes, Karen, take your goddamn franchise and fucking leave California, please.
The audacity of her. The audacity. She wants to try having 3 jobs, trying to keep afloat.
Yeah, or working on minimum wage as a single mother. Try that sometime.
Exactly. The audacity of this woman.
Complaining that it's hard to raise kids. You know what she's actually worried about? She's complaining because she cannot indoctrinate her children the way she wants to. And she finds that her white supremacist influence still is not having an effect on her kids the way she wants. So she's going to isolate them in, probably take her kids to Texas or Florida. Who knows? I don't know. Don't care. Goodbye.
Why?
One less billionaire in California, that ain't going to matter a bit. Because you know what? Billionaires don't pay taxes the way they should. So it will be no loss. It will be no loss to California. Nope. There will be other franchises, other businesses that will quickly take its place. I got another one to show you, but I'm going to save it for next week. Let's just say karma. That's all I'm going to say. But then again, is there true karma? Is there really true karma for billionaires? I'm having my doubts.
I'm hoping there is.
I wish. Today, we're here to talk about Mehdi Hasan.
Okay.
Do you know who Mehdi Hasan is?
Nope. And I feel ashamed for not knowing because I usually
you're okay.
watch.
Mehdi Hasan used to work for MSNBC, I believe. Had his own show. And I actually listened to it for quite a bit. It was, it was in podcast form, so it was all audio. So I didn't quite, get all the visuals, but I kind of got what he was talking about anyway. Basically, it was just a news show, like Rachel Maddow or
oh, I love Rachel Maddow
Tiffany
and Joy
Cross,
Reid.
Joy-Ann Reid. Who else? Something Lawrence. Oh, my brain is fried.
Yeah.
Lawrence.
Yeah, same.
Anyway, he's on MSNBC. My brain is fried. Anyway, he had I don't know if it was weekly or the weekends, but it was a spot he had, and then evidently he was just too radical. So they got rid of him, and he started his own media franchise, his own media business called Zaleto. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I like watching Craig Melvin on MSNBC.
Craig Melvin, that I don't think I've heard him yet.
Okay.
Ari Melber,
you
who's
won't
on
be
the
sorry.
weekends.
Yeah. Yes.
I
yes.
like Ari Melber.
And I was just looking for Chris Wallace.
You mean Nicole Wallace?
No, Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace.
Mm-hmm. And there's a Ted David as well.
Yeah, that name doesn't ring a bell. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, so
Connie Chung.
Say it again?
Is it Connie Chung? I might be butchering that name. I'm very sorry.
Probably. Did she go to Substack recently?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, she left. So. Yeah, she left. Well, actually, she was... I don't know if she was exactly fired, but they didn't renew her contract or they pulled some bullshit thing on her.
She also a TV anchor for CBS, CNN, NBC, ABC.
Connie Chung?
Connie Chung.
Oh, yeah, she's been retired for a long time. If I think of who it is,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, she's been long gone. I don't think she's worked for CNN for a while. But anyway, so he wrote a book, and the reason we're talking about him, we'll get to it, but he wrote a book called Win Every Argument, The Art of Debating, Persuading, and Public Speaking. And watching his performance, actually debating, I have to say, it was he held his own. And we're going to get to the actual debates. I've got clips I want us to watch. But it is to do with these right-wing fascist fuckwits that you see before us in the background. Every single one of these morons went up against Mehdi Hasan and got their asses handed to them. This is what happens when you have bad information, when you have bad sources. You don't do well in debates. And you could tell they were getting frustrated. Some of them were getting angry. One of them was... You'll see it in their faces. You'll hear it in their voices. But he went to what's called Jubilee. It's called Jubilee. It's basically Jubilee Debates or Jubilee Media, which also the flagship series Surrounded is what got it started. So Surrounded is you have one person that's going to be debating a panel of 20 people, and you're basically surrounded by people sitting around you. And basically, it's kind of an intimidation tactic. So I'll just go ahead and read this. Jubilee debates, particularly exemplified by the web series Surrounded, are structured discussions that bring together individuals with opposing viewpoints to engage in civil discourse on various topics. Jubilee Media is known for its innovative approach to discussions and debates, aiming to foster understanding and empathy among people with differing opinions. Yeah, that's not happening. The flagship series Surrounded features a unique format where one individual debates against a group of opponents who hold contrasting views. This setup encourages open dialogue and challenges participants to articulate their positions clearly. It's amazing how differently you feel about something once you've either voiced it or heard it voiced. It's like it sounds better in your head than it does when you actually speak it into existence.
Exactly. And this is why it is important to make sure you've got all your citations ready for you to go into a debate. You go in with an open mind, because you never know what new information you are going to learn when you go into that debate. You will fail in a debate if you don't have your citations, you don't have your facts. It's going to lead people to think you're intellectually dishonest if you cannot articulate
I mean,
even understand somebody else's point of view.
To me, this only serves as a way of keeping people in the same mindset. I mean, I don't see this as really changing minds. I would be shocked to find anybody who's changed their mind because they saw one of these debates. But, I mean, I'm open to change my mind. Let's get to the format and structure.
As you said before, leave earworms for people to sort of go back on, and hopefully one of those earworms will lay eggs.
Maybe.
You have said that plenty of times before.
Yeah, true. Because basically, you're not worried about trying to convince the person across from you. You want to reach the people that are on the outside, not the circle, but on the outside of that circle. Basically, anybody looking in, watching from a distance, either watching it on YouTube or hearing it in podcast form. Now, the debate setup in Surrounded is a prominent figure or individual with specific beliefs faces off against several opponents. The debates cover a range of topics, often political, but can also include social issues, health, and more. Red flags. Participants can raise red flags to signal when they believe a debate should end, allowing for a dynamic and interactive discussion. I don't believe that for a minute. Here's what I see the red flags serving, and you're going to see it in real time. The red flags go up. When enough red flags go up, basically the discussion ends and then the opponent is switched out. What this serves is if the person who's debating is doing a terrible job, you can basically end the discussion early so it doesn't cause embarrassment for your side. That's how I see this. Now, diverse participants. The series has featured a wide array of guests, from political commentators to activists, creating a platform for diverse perspectives. Notable episodes and impact. Recent episodes have gained significant attention, such as those featuring Mehdi Hasan. Oh, one S? I think I spelled it with two S's. Oops. I'll have to change that. Debating against a group of self-identified far-right conservatives. Now, when I say far-right, I mean as far-right as close to Nazi as you get. In fact, one of them actually goes so far as saying, yeah, call me a Nazi. I'm okay with that. Recent episodes have gained significant attention, such as those featuring Mehdi Hasan debating against... Okay, I said that. These episodes often go viral, highlighting the provocative nature of the discussion and current political climate. The goal of these debates is not only to entertain, but also to challenge viewers' perceptions and encourage critical thinking about contentious issues. In conclusion, Jubilee debates, through their engaging format and focus on civil discourse, aim to bridge divides and promote understanding in an increasingly polarized society. Bullshit, 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 and bullshit. The series has become a notable platform for exploring complex social and political issues. Yes, I agree. Making it a significant part of contemporary online discussions. Yeah. Although red flags... Oh, I want to hear this. This is from Distractify. What do the red flags mean? Yeah, so there's a meter. There's a red flag. It starts out as white. As more and more red flags go up, you can see the meter get red. And when it goes full red, then it stops. Let me get to the red flag portion. Okay, a couple of dozen people who disagree. What does the red flags mean? Although red flags usually an indication of bad behavior, particularly when it comes to dating, Jubilee Media uses them on Surrounded for an entirely different reason. When the people in the circle feel as if the debate has come to an end, they will raise their flags, which indicates it's time for a new person to end the discussion arena. Jubilee Media could be rebranding the red flag. No, it just means, oh, you sound terrible and you sound like you're losing. That's what that means. Get them out of there because, oh no, it's not going well for our team. That's what that means. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so let's get into the actual debate with Mehdi Hasan.
I think you could say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-Constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us.
Yes.
And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women and children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but where in the First Amendment in the Constitution does it say anything about pornography in the First Amendment? Okay.
For the longest time, the First Amendment was not used to protect the pornography. In fact, for the longest time, there were rules in the books that said you cannot ship or you cannot mail anything of a that could be deemed as a pornographic thing, whether it be sex toys, whether it be porn videos or whatnot. And so as these laws have gotten challenged, First Amendment has been used tangentially involved. But again, there are laws that says, I mean, it has to be between consenting adults. Minors cannot be involved. And you'll never guess where the largest disseminator, you'll never guess where the largest disseminator and those who produce child pornography or essay content involving minors, you'll never guess where it comes from.
The suspense is unaliving me.
Russia. Yeah.
Oh, I should have known.
Yeah. So let's continue with this moron. He also thinks blasphemy should be against the law. He's a Catholic, by the way. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. Here we go.
I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So this is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay, surprise! I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
whenever
the
it's in
Second
your
Amendment.
favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
So you
it's
don't
the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree,
so
and that's
you
part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone. I can't even remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted. I kind of voted just to.
I came with this argument, but I'm.
This moron wants to do away with voting as soon as an autocratic leader comes into power. He's okay with doing away with democracy. He's okay with using democracy, and he's going to explain it further. But did you hear all the people clapping in the background?
Yeah, that's what just not astonished me, blew me away with the stupidness of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it gets better. Here we go.
Oh, God.
What am I an argument? I'm much more interested in this. So,
yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local leaders...
Who is the we, by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far-right conservatives sitting right around
White
me.
people?
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
So,
well, actually,
guys,
I have quite...
Some of the people in this room don't make the cut from what I can see visually.
Actually, hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you. I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white, and should stay that way.
How does the United States... I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is, my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh, well, I use a pseudonym online.
Fair enough.
But fair enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
No, I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
Oh, people
I would
like
say,
yourself.
quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as, you know...
He actually said that. He wants it to stay majority white. He's not.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. And in the next clip, it's even longer. This is just a short clip of this debate. He goes pretty dark, and we're going to talk about where he ends up in life a little bit later.
Franco? It could be a kind of aristocratic class, could be someone
who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings were
isn't that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that stage.
And then no more votes afterwards?
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because that's the whole thing.
How do you
Well, I didn't mean me. I mean, the autocrat is going to kill other people, but just not me. And for me, I wouldn't like that. Yeah, I know. Mind-blowing, isn't it?
No.
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt
supporters.
makes this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right? You
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Oh, yeah. He just quoted a actual Nazi. Yeah. He quoted an actual Nazi and is okay with fascist Nazi takeover in this country. He's okay with it because he passes the cut. He passes the color test.
I have some nice things to say. If I was legally allowed to get away, with sticking a rocket up their asses and shooting them to the sun to disintegrate, I would. These people are a waste of space. These people are disgusting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it gets worse and worse as the.
Oh jeez.
Oh yeah. He's not done. He's going to continue. He's opening his mouth and digging his grave. I was really not a fan of this presentation, the way it's set up. But you know what?
Yeah.
The more I see it, the more I'm actually glad for it, because you're going to find out. You're going to find out later what happens to this guy.
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad. We may have to rename this show
because you're a little bit more than a far right.
There was a Jewish-looking girl that the camera just panned to, and she was kind of looking around like, just as he said it. Now, I can't prove to you that she's Jewish, but she's got a little bit of ethnicity of some kind, and she does not pass the color test of this guy. Doesn't pass. And she's like, oops, uh-oh, little uncomfy there, you know. Let me see if I can skip ahead.
I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who? We're interested in this. So
yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, who happen to not be white, who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this. Frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as Where
does
Franco.
He come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings were
isn't that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that stage.
And then no more votes afterwards?
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Autocrats
tend to kill everyone, even though
Schmitt makes this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right?
Carl Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad.
That's comforting. He acknowledges there was a little persecution involving the Jews. I mean, yeah. So he's not so bad. Come on. He said there was a little persecution.
I'm taking that he's Christian. Has he actually read the Bible?
Oh, yeah.
So he does understand, according to the Bible, 8 people after the flood repopulated the whole planet.
Well,
which means everybody's related. So
everybody's related by incest. That's nice. But you know what? But even then, it doesn't matter. Even if that story were true, which it's not. The point is, there are certain races of people.
Trying to point out,
according to the biblical narrative, God cursed an entire lineage of people based on that fable. Remember the curse of Canaan? I mean, there are so many ways you can translate that and go with. So, yeah, it's just this guy's digging a grave, and I'm telling you what, that girl was looking just a little uncomfy.
I can't blame it. I was just simply, by stating that about the flood, I was just simply pointing out his hypocrisy and his complete
Christianity.
Delusional.
Christianity always goes back to its fascist roots. Always. Mm-hmm. The worship of a cruel God. The worship of a cruel God makes a cruel man. Let's continue.
So, because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
You know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat cats. They were aristocrats.
Are you in favor of killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not.
You mentioned Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children. He was Catholic,
He only killed combatants. Is that what you're claiming?
Yeah, he only killed combatants.
Never killed any innocent people.
Franco killed 150,000, including entire families. That he's going to get fact-checked later on. Yeah, there's a fact check right here. I can't see it because I have to go to the next clip to see it. But yeah, it's that is crazy work.
The white terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns, dude. Killing priests? I mean, priests don't brandish guns and kill people.
You just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think about me. If I'm a Nazi and being a Nazi
is mutual,
and being a Nazi means upholding human dignity, because I even believe in your dignity. I don't in a state that I was running. I wouldn't want to hurt you or anything like that. But quite frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
Okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really care about being. Yeah, sure. I don't care about being called a Nazi is the whole thing.
I never called you a Nazi.
I care
you
about
called
doing
yourself
the right
a Nazi,
thing.
a fascist, and a General Franco supporter.
Well, yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly.
Look at this. You can't see it, but there's this moron slouched in a seat going, yeah, cool. Franco Nero. Not Franco Nero. Whatever his name. Franco. Whatever the fuck. But yeah, these morons, I swear to fuck. And this guy that's nodding along, he's another Christian. I'm telling you, that room is full of Christians. Not everybody, but just about the majority of them are. And this is why I say.
I'm still getting over the fact that he is denying the atrocities that happened during the Holocaust. Like, Nazis would literally hold Jewish women prisoners. They would rape them, impregnate them, humiliate them, make them have abortions, torture them, murder them. How can you deny that? That's so vile. His denial is so vile.
Because the whole thing...
And you don't believe in democracy.
I don't believe in democracy.
What are you doing here at a televised debate?
Because
this is democracy, not what a debate and
because it is the means to support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because we want to be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean upholding free speech after we win.
Exactly.
Again,
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in
whole reason
is that you guys are so open about it.
The whole reason come from democracy. I love how he just clapped back with that in his face.
You need democracy in order to enact fascism. Without democracy, fascism can't come to power. That is the crux. That is the double-edged sword of democracy. All right, let's play the next clip. I mean, if you think he dug his grave there, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Hi there. How are you? Hey. So I'm going to be as respectful about this as possible, but the truth is your claim is completely bad faith. You do not care about being...
Okay, now you can't see it, but how it starts is there's a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then everybody who wants to debate gets out of their chair, runs to the chair, and the first person who sits down gets to debate. I think that's a stupid method of doing it, but what do I know? But I it's not needed. Unnecessary. You have to push your way to the front just to be heard. It's like, you don't need that. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and hear.
Do you know what they need?
What's that?
They need democratic laboobos to set them on the straight path.
All right, let me just check the gain on this. I want to make sure that we're okay. All right, let's go ahead and play it.
And I'm sorry about that. The boober keeps turning the light off.
So I'm going to be as respectful about this as possible, but the truth is your claim is completely bad faith. You do not care about being anti-crime. You yourself are pro-crime. Your side is pro-crime because you're a progressive.
How am I
Okay, so the claim that Hasan made, you're not able to see it, but Hasan makes a claim and then the debate starts. So basically what he says is Trump and the Republican Party are pro-crime. And so here we go.
So I'll give you an example, right? So your side, not Donald Trump, has passed a series of laws in California. Let's go with California. It's where we are right now. It's where I'm from. I don't know. Are you from California?
No.
Or okay. So in California, for example, the state legislature, completely progressive, just passed a law that limits sex offender registration to 10 years. It was life before. That's progressive.
There is a fact check to everything this guy is saying. I want to enlarge it big because I want to be able to read this. The fact check. California has a tier-based sex offender registry. Those who commit misdemeanors have registered for a minimum of 10 years, while those who commit more serious sex crimes have to register for 20 years to life. Okay, so what he is saying is an outright lie. Okay, so what I mean by minimum misdemeanor is somebody could be taking a piss in a back alley. And if someone sees them and reports them, they can be put on a sex offender list because of indecent exposure. You see how that works? So a homeless person can end up on the registry for 10 years just for that crime. So that's different than sexually assaulting someone. Wouldn't you agree? They're of the varying degrees. So
I think there needs to be more like regulation on who actually goes on sex offender lists. I don't think somebody peeing in public or
indecent, indecent exposure,
who's not intent on actually flashing anyone. They're just generally wanting like a quick pee. I don't think that they should be stuck on something that is so sort of serious, because those lists have got many innocent people killed. You know, those lists can have serious consequences for, say, an innocent person accidentally being added to one, because people really do get the wrong idea, and that can have serious ramifications and consequences. You know, I do think more care needs to be put in who is being put on these lists, to be honest. That's, you know, just my unpopular opinion.
Yeah. I have to agree. Let's continue.
Crime. The legislature in California, which is progressives again, has passed a law that says the voter-induced three-strike law is no longer absolute. If someone...
So, California voters changed the state's three-strike rule in 2012 so that the mandatory 25 to life sentences was only imposed on serious or violent offenders. Again, that makes sense. In 2021, the legislature ordered a mandatory resentencing for those with certain enhanced sentences. So, enhanced sentences could be officers finding more and more and more things to charge a perpetrator with. So a nonviolent crime just ends up getting stacks and stacks against them. That's what I see. And nonviolent criminals should not have to be put on a three-strike, you're out. Meaning you get 3 misdemeanors, automatic felony, and you go to jail. I'm sorry, but nonviolent offenders don't belong in prison. But let's move on.
No, they don't.
Murders someone,
I
stabs
completely
someone
agree
on
with you
3
on that.
separate occasions. A judge now does not have to give them life. That's a progressive law. That is not. That is pro-crime. You support that, don't you?
I actually don't support sex offenders coming off a list. I think they should be on for life.
Okay, so you disagree with progressives.
So hold on. You and I both agree that sex offending is a bad thing, especially child sex offending, right?
It seems like you and I agree on that.
I agree
the legislature
on that.
of California doesn't.
So I'm not here to debate the legislature of California. I'm here to debate Donald Trump being pro-crime. And I'm saying that Donald Trump was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. When Ghislaine Maxwell, who's the worst child sex trafficker of our lifetime, she's serving over 20 years. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, she's actually not. Jeffrey Epstein's the worst sex trafficker.
He's dead. I'm talking about people who are alive right now.
It's interesting, though, you didn't use his name, right? Wouldn't he be the one who did this?
Oh, great. I'm glad you brought up Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, before he died, with Michael Wolff, he's on tape. I don't know if you've heard the tape. He says, my closest friend was Donald Trump. I was his closest friend. Elon Musk, I'm not sure if you've heard of him, he tweeted recently that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files. Yes. And Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the right-hand woman.
This dopey kid looks like he's 12. He's just kind of, I don't know if it's like he's barely receiving what's happening. But this
information overload.
Yeah, he's just kind of spaced out and kind of bobbing his head like he has no idea what's happening. If you look at the background, he's the kid in the white shirt and tie at the very, very bottom middle. The guy that's we're debating is all the way on the right middle tier. He's got his head cocked down like this.
Do you know, I can't remember what order I put these pictures in.
Well, if you look, do you have a picture of the background? It has them all.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and play.
So would it be the kid in the white cap?
Yeah, no, the kid that's all the way at the bottom in the middle. Bottom row. Middle.
With the white shirt.
White shirt, yep. And this dopey fuck is just, that is the exact pose he was in when he's kind of bobbing and weaving his head like, yeah, I'm hearing words, but I'm not really sure if I'm, receiving. But yeah, so the whole debate is about Donald Trump, and this doofus thinks he can change the subject, and Mehdi Hasan is going to just somehow forget what the topic is. It's amazing to me.
I'm taking he's Christian.
I don't know if he calls himself that, but let's listen to some more.
Of Jeffrey Epstein, when she was on trial for child sex offending, which you and I are opposed to, Donald Trump stood up and said, good luck to her, I wish her well. So yeah, that makes him pro-crime and pro-criminal if he's being soft on child sex traffickers,
well, you just said they
like
were his
Epstein.
Friends. He's
no, I'm saying he was friends. He was friends with Epstein. You haven't seen the videos? They danced together, partied together. Epstein said I was his closest friend.
He's not supported the pedophilia part. The only people supporting pedophilia
that's not true. Trump gave a speech about 20 years ago where he said Epstein's a great guy. He loves young women. A lot of them are very young. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, laugh, laugh. So yeah, I think he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
So you think he's soft on sex offenders? Do you have any friends who are criminals?
Not that I know of. Certainly not child sex offenders. No, do you?
No, of course not.
Okay, so we're both in agreement again. So why are you defending Donald Trump?
If it came out tomorrow that one of your friends was a child sex trafficker,
you know what I'd do?
You'd stop being friends with them.
Yes, and I wouldn't say.
And then I'd go on TV and I would say, "Oh, look, Mr. Hasan was friends with this guy 10 years ago. Therefore, he's pro-child sex trafficking."
What if Mr. Hasan said, I wish them well when they're on trial? Wouldn't you have a go at me for that?
You wish your friend well on trial?
Yeah, child sex trafficker. Would you be mad?
I wouldn't wish someone well, but that's your
Donald Trump
gotcha.
did.
That's your gotcha.
It's a pretty big gotcha.
He wished a friend well.
Pretty big gotcha.
Okay,
he praised the
what you're really trying to do right now is you're trying to get back to Donald Trump on a personal level. Let's talk policy. What's his policy?
Now you're going to start to see the meter starting to tick up. Now people are starting, there's one or two flags being raised at this point. And as he goes on, you're going to start seeing more and more flags raised. They're already seeing that the debate is not going well for him. And so they're like, we got to stop this. So they're kind of like nudging each other. Hey, put your flag up.
And this is what I find with so many Trump supporters. They don't know much about Trump's policies or what exactly they are voting for or what they sort of like about Trump. They don't
seem to know Trump personally on a personal level by looking at history. It's like their mind is blacked out any disfavorable information that would prove the cult leader is problematic.
No, exactly. And this is why I think Trump has sort of got most of his followers in a cult, because they're literally just repeating what he's been saying. It's like they haven't got a mind to think for themselves.
Nope.
It's like, it's like they don't have a cognitive thought to themselves.
Nope. Like I said, conservatism and right wing is easy. All your thinking is done for you. You don't have to do any of it. Let's continue.
Okay.
Policies.
Yes.
So when he left office in 2020, he left behind the highest murder rate for over 100 years.
Let's look at this fact check. According to the Brookings Institute, the murder rate increased 30% across the U.S. across U.S. cities in 2020. Their analysts found that the spike was connected to local unemployment, school closures, and low-income areas during COVID. So there's a whole mishmash. There's a whole collage of reasons to go with that. Low unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
So when there's low unemployment, when there's high unemployment and low employment, that's what I meant to say, crimes go up.
Behind the highest murder. Yeah. That is the most bad faith claim you could possibly make.
It's a fact from the CDC
and you
data.
know what? Here's why it's bad faith.
Can I finish a sentence and then you can come back in?
You're just lying to people. Donald Trump.
I'm lying?
Yes,
Can I finish the sentence?
Donald Trump does not cause the murder rate. Murder is a state level
that's
crime.
hilarious.
Gavin Newsom is more responsible for the murder rate than Donald Trump is.
That's hilarious. So Donald Trump's not responsible for the murder rate, but other politicians who are Democrats
Yes,
are.
because it's
Everyone
a state level law.
That's
like saying I'll say Republicans are too. State governors who are soft on crime are the ones that are responsible for murder rates. Let me finish a sentence.
Trump left office in 2020. Between 2019 and 2020, according to data from the CDC, from the FBI, from Pew Research, there's a 30% increase in the murder rate between 2019 and 2020. It was the single biggest jump in the murder rate since 1905.
And who's doing
so he's pro-crime
who's doing the murdering?
and
Aren't they responsible? Who's doing the murdering?
The murderers.
So aren't they responsible for the murder rate?
But why did it go up on his watch?
What?
Why did it go up on his watch?
Gee, that's
very
real
bad.
hard. That's
He's
a real
very
hard
bad at fighting crime.
That's a real hard one to figure out, right? We shut down the whole economy during COVID. We told everyone they couldn't go out unless it was to violently protest. We told people that if a cop tries to arrest you, that cop's probably going to get charged with murder.
No, I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it. But the pandemic didn't finish in 2020.
What?
The pandemic didn't finish in 2020.
You asked why the murder rate went up.
And yet, if we're going to play the what about game, you guys blame Joe Biden for crime for years.
So I get what he's doing. He's using their rhetoric against them. You could say it's bad. You know what? There is nothing bad faith about this. And I'll tell you why.
No, it's not.
They don't deserve good faith arguments. I think we should meet them where they're at and smear their faces. And you could see the red flag meters just ticking up. It's almost in the middle. So it won't be long. He's going to be taken off the stand.
No, I don't blame him. And I don't think it's arguing in bad faith.
Oh, no, well, the arguments that these right-wingers are bringing
back to them.
Yeah, I would say the right-wingers that are bringing these arguments are definitely in bad faith because they are quick to blame a Democrat politician when murder rates go up on their watch, but they never blame Trump because they say, oh, it's local. But then when Biden was in office, and yes, they blamed Biden for the crime rates.
Yeah. I want to know how exactly they're trying to blame Barack Obama for what happened to Epstein, considering Trump was actually president at the time that Epstein died in prison.
Correct. We'll have to say that for another show.
Trump's watch.
But yeah, that is exactly the same thing. They'll never blame that on Trump, but they're going to go backwards in history and say, oh, Obama. Nothing but excuses with these people. They never take the party of personal responsibility rarely takes responsibility. That's how it works. Continuing.
So much for the party of family values.
Joe Biden actively induces policies that are pro-crime. I'm asking
you
for
Donald Trump.
Okay, name the policy that's pro-crime.
Right now.
Please, I've asked you for like 10 minutes.
I'll name one right now. No, you haven't actually. You talked about California legislatures. He pardoned violent criminals who then went on to commit other crimes. You don't think releasing violent crimes into the community?
A pardon is a one-time thing. What's his policy he has pushed? Name a law he has signed.
A pardon is a one-time thing. A policy is not one-time thing.
That's like Jimmy Carter pardoned the draft.
You guys may want to dodge January 6th, the pardons.
I'm not dodging that.
Then deal with it. Did you agree with
I'm going to right now.
Do you agree with
Jimmy Carter pardoned draft dodgers.
The meltdown, the sheer meltdown.
This is how pathetic this guy is. He's trying to bring back Jimmy Carter pardoning the Vietnam War protesters. Oh my fucking God. He wants...
That's okay. Do you know why? Because their dear leader, Donald Trump, pardoned 5,000 Taliban members from prison.
Well, yeah, he released them. That was part of the deal, the pullout deal. Anyway, that's another topic we don't have time to go into. But yeah, I mean,
that was failed.
The majority of Vietnam War protesters were peacefully protesting. They just said, we're not going to serve in your dirty war. We're not going over to Vietnam to kill kids. We're not having any of it. We don't care. And this guy is trying to equate January 6th demonstrators who violently attacked police officers. He's trying to equate those who refused military service with January 6ers.
You can't equate them with insurrectionists. The insurrectionists of January 6th broke the law to try and overthrow a democratic government.
It's not on the same
for their fascist
style,
dictator.
but you could make an argument that Vietnam War protesters broke the law by not registering for selective service for the draft. They didn't submit to the draft, therefore they broke the law. Even
they didn't commit an insurrection. They didn't try to overthrow the government.
Well, that is true. Muhammad Ali would have been considered a criminal because he refused. He lost his boxing license for the longest time because of that. But he said, I am not going to travel over 6,000. I'm not going to travel over 16,000 miles to go kill some people I don't know, never been there, never even heard of them. And when my enemy is right here at home, why am I going to go over there when the people where I live, where I'm at, are trying to take away my civil liberties? They're trying to take away my civil rights. And they want to relegate me to a third-class citizen, but they expect me to go fight in a war for them? Fuck you. Anyway.
Does that mean his policy was
I don't support Jimmy Carter. Do you support the pardoning of people who went on to be prosecuted for sexually abusing a 7-year-old child, illegal gun possession, reckless homicide?
Now, see, there's more bad faith. See, there's
more bad faith.
He didn't pardon someone for sexually abusing a child.
But they went on to be convicted of it.
For rebelling against the government that they believed had
disgusting
rigged
bad person.
elections.
You're literally trying to make excuses for that. Yes, he did pardon them. You stupid son of a... I'm sorry.
I mean, this guy literally, I mean, if these had been Democrats, pardon, who had sexual crimes in on their docket, on their card, on their file and on their record, he would have been against that. But because they're January 6ers, he's okay with it. Let's continue.
Child abuse.
But they were criminals who committed those crimes. He let them out, so that means the crime rate goes up.
So you say they're criminals because they did the crime, right? Yeah. Would you extend that to illegal immigrants, that they're all criminals because they committed a crime? I have a feeling your position is going to change.
Supreme Court, we're going to talk about immigration.
Someone who's illegally entered the United States, not a criminal, but somebody who illegally entered the Capitol.
Watching this guy's face twitch and tick.
Yeah.
I mean, he is expanding every neuron he has. He is using every ounce of his brain power, and he's still missing the mark with Mehdi Hasan. Mehdi Hasan is he's just chill. I've never seen someone so chill, just like, okay, I've got an answer for every single thing you're bringing up. It doesn't matter what you bring up. Oh, you want to talk about illegal immigration? Well, first of all, they're not violent criminals, number one. Crossing the border illegally, even if it was proven that it was illegal and not for asylum seeking, it's not a felony. It's literally a misdemeanor. It's a civil thing, and they're still allowed due process. Anyway, I don't want to get ahead of it. Let's continue. By the way, the red flag, the meter is almost to the tippy top. It's like his nostrils are almost underwater. It's crazy.
I'm surprised it's not right over his head 10 feet.
Anyone who enters the United States illegally is not a criminal.
And we can jump to future claims.
Can I get the case site?
We can jump to 20. You want to get the case?
The case site, please. You said the Supreme Court.
The citation of the case.
Yes, the entering the United States illegally is not a crime.
It's called Arizona versus United States 2012. Go look it up.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you doing, sir?
Nice to meet you, Mehdi.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. I really just more want to get an understanding when you say pro-criminal.
By the way, this next guy that's going to be debating, he's kind of one of the weakest guys that comes up here. I don't even think I have a picture of him because he doesn't even rank. I picked the worst. I picked literally the 8 worst offenders to talk about. But yeah, we're just going to I'm going to play him uninterrupted. I'm just going to push play and let him go because I think Mehdi Hasan, you don't need any commentary from me. He explains it so well to this guy. Let's go.
What do you mean?
I mean that when confronted with people who've committed criminal acts, Donald Trump has been either soft on them, friendly with them, pardon them, and of course, let's not forget, I mean, we've got 5 minutes left, I'm surprised it hasn't come up earlier, he's a convicted criminal himself sitting in the White House.
Okay, I want to
34
make sure I
felony
understand you correctly, because
Yes.
I don't want to straw man you.
No,
You're saying
I appreciate that.
every time that he's been confronted,
Not every time. I didn't
most
say the
times,
words every time.
most times,
A lot of the time.
a lot of the times,
Yes.
he's leaned towards criminal activity.
I didn't say criminal activity. He has committed crimes.
Endorsed criminal.
He's been indicted for
Correct.
88 different criminal offenses in 4 different jurisdictions by 5 different grand juries. He was convicted himself on 34 different criminal offenses by a jury of his peers. Okay. But let's park that for a moment.
Okay.
Separate to his own crimes, when
Right.
confronted with the crimes of others, or the alleged crimes of others, for example, a Chinese crypto billionaire
Right,
called
right.
Justin Sun, who was being investigated for market manipulation, Trump dropped the case, invited him to the golf course,
Right, I get
invited
it.
him
So
to the White House,
plenty of examples,
and the guy
plenty of
invested
examples.
$70 million in Trump's
Okay,
cryptocurrency.
so what I want to ask you
That's
this. Okay,
pro-crime in my
so
view.
What I don't get is there's plenty of examples, but it's not. It doesn't matter. He keeps saying, "Well, yeah, there's plenty of examples," but I have a few. I have a few things I want to add to that. It's like, no, I'm sorry, my dude, but no, that's not.
Yeah.
If you need to answer for those examples, don't just gloss them over. Oh yeah. There are lots of examples. But anyway, let's move on.
is it possible, because remember, the burden of proof's on you, right? You have to prove, is it possible that all these things that he's done that supposedly make him pro-crime, is there's another reason for the
jurisdictions by 5 different grand juries. He was convicted himself on 34 different criminal offenses by a jury of his peers. Okay. But let's park that for a moment.
Okay.
Separate to his own crimes, when
Right.
confronted with the crimes of others, or the alleged crimes of others, for example, a Chinese crypto billionaire called Justin Sun, who was being investigated for market manipulation, Trump dropped the case, invited him to the golf course, invited him to the White House,
plenty of examples,
and the guy
plenty of
invested
examples.
$70 million in Trump's
Okay,
cryptocurrency.
so what I want to ask you
That's
this.
pro-crime in my
so
view.
Is it possible, because remember, the burden of proof's on you, right? You have to prove, is it possible that all these things that he's done that supposedly make him pro-crime, is there's another reason for the doing it? There's other justification. For example, let me give you an example, and then you can rebut it. The J6.
Yes.
Is it possible that he could have done this to unite the country, to move past, to go to a new chapter? If it's even possible, I think you would have to admit that there's another possibility. Therefore, he's not pro-crime, at least in possibility.
So let me agree and disagree.
Yep. Okay.
So I agree with you that the intent could be different. I don't think Donald Trump was sitting there saying, "How can I increase the level of murders? Let me release some murderers."
Right.
I'm not saying he did that on January 6th. I don't think he was trying to unite the country. That's where we disagree. That's bullshit. In fact, he divided the country further. But intent doesn't really matter to my claim. If he's releasing violent criminals,
Wait.
it doesn't
Intent
matter.
doesn't matter?
No, he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
No, but that's
When the fuck has intent ever mattered to these right-wing fuckwit, fuckface fascists? When?
It's never
Give me one
mattered.
example where they've said, you know what, Obama did this, but let's look at the intent. What's his name? Oh, Joe Biden. Well, he said this, but let's look at the intent. Let's examine that for a minute. Not one time have they ever done that. Not once. And they have the audacity. Now they're saying, well, we need to think about the intent. The intent doesn't matter. When does the intent matter? When we're talking about crimes that are committed, do we care what the intent was of the perpetrator? Well, yeah, he's jacked a car. He stole a car. Well, what was his intent? Maybe he needed a car to transport somebody to the hospital. We don't know. Maybe he stole the tires because he needed to feed his family. They never think about that, do they? Go ahead.
Yeah,
We're going in overtime.
Their illogical thinking is just mind-blowing. They do need to take people's intent for why they do things into account, because that does have like an effect on like their actions and like the consequences and stuff. But yeah, they never like to take responsibility for things.
Yeah, they never talk about intent when it comes to other people, but to themselves. This is why I'm looking at this guy's face and I'm like, what is going through that tiny mind of yours? Why does intent ever come into the equation? But I tell you what, if we actually did that for everybody, I wonder what our criminal justice system would look like. That's besides the point. Moving on.
big indictment to say pro-crime. That means
if I'm
he's
confronted,
for crime.
I'm confronted. Well, he is, because for example, I gave an example.
No. It could
Can I
be
finish?
possible.
I didn't
Okay, sorry,
interrupt you.
forgive me.
Your friend earlier, your ally, said, where has he done stuff that's increased the crime rate? I'm telling you, people have been pardoned who have been convicted on multiple other crimes. These people who we pardoned had previous criminal records. They were not just some folks chilling around go, we're against the takeover of our country, we're opposed to rebellion. They were, a lot of these people were already hardened criminals, militia members. He looked at those people and said, you know what? They've been convicted, in many cases, by Republican judges, but I'm going to let them out. Yeah, that makes you pro-criminal.
Is it possible?
Again, and if Joe Biden had done it, you'd be attacking him.
Sure. Is it possible that their conviction was part of a plea? It's like, oh shit, I can't get out of this, so I got to take a plea deal.
Some of them, maybe.
A lot of them, maybe.
Others we saw with our own lying eyes on tape, battering police officers.
So I want to
Did you watch live on January 6th? What happened?
To be completely honest, I'm pretty novice on this. Okay. I'm more trying to target. You're saying he's pro-crime, and in my head, I'm just thinking this logically. Let me finish. If I can finish for 1 second. If thinking this, there's a possibility that he might have had other reasons. For example, unifying the country. Next
red
chapter,
flags
right?
are going up now.
Therefore, it's not pro-crime.
Yeah, red flags are going up.
That's a possibility. And if that's
I'm saying it's a possibility, but I'm saying it's irrelevant, because if you're knowingly releasing violent criminals out into the community,
the red flag
then yes, you are being pro-criminal. And I've interviewed police officers.
I don't know about that case.
I've interviewed police officers who have been assaulted.
They're making us look bad.
Had to retire from the police office.
Get the flags, quick!
Can I move really quick?
I'll finish very quickly. I've interviewed these police officers.
I don't have flags. I got
by people who they've then seen walk off the streets and then carry on threatening them. Yes, when Donald Trump is responsible for that, you're definitely pro-crime.
Okay, I doubt a lot of the sources.
Wow, that was rough. That was rough.
That was very rough. Oh, his brain must hurt from the internal turmoil that it is suffering from, the sheer, oh my God.
You know what's funny is this person, I think, once he gets his head out of his ass.
Cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
Jeez.
Once he gets his head out of his ass and once he is taken out of that right-wing bubble that he's in, I guarantee you he'd change his mind on quite a few things. But right now, he's in the cult.
He's lost.
But he's actually, lost. I would say of all of them, he's one of the reachable ones. Now, the next person we're going to listen to is going to be Shrill, and you're probably going to have a lot to say listening to her. She's that annoying. I mean, of all the people, she is ignorant. She is loud in her ignorance, and the flags go up pretty fast. The men raise the flags very fast. So you're going to see me do this. When you see me do this, you know the flags are going up. And when they reach my head, you know it's over for her. Let's go ahead and get to this monstrosity. I might have to turn it up.
Oh, geez.
Actually, you know what?
She looks like she looks like one of those poor trad wives. Do as I say, not what I do.
When you get a close-up look of her, she's not a trad wife at all. She looks like she's got a habit, like she's definitely a druggie.
Yeah,
this is a bad picture. Oh, wait a minute. I think I included her in the background.
Yes, I did put her in the background. She is in the background.
I don't think it's her though. Give me a second. Let me get back to it. It's not.
Is it that one?
No, it's not her. It's not her.
It's not her?
Nope. But I know who you're talking about. She's next. She's going to be next after this one, but no, that's not the right one.
I just resent it.
That's okay.
That's not the right picture. No. Okay. I didn't. That's okay. I was only using what you gave me.
No, yeah, that's
right. I apologize.
There were too many contestants. I only chose the worst of the worst. Technically, her picture should have gone on that background, now that I think about it. Because
the picture is on the background.
No, it isn't. The blonde is on the background. No. She's
the
brunette.
blonde.
This person we're listening to is brunette. Here we go.
Ah, okay.
If you need to, oh no, you can't, can you?
I can't see. I'll have to rewatch after to see. I will have to rewatch after. You'll Like, either have to send me.
Hey, how are you? I'm Mehdi.
Hi, I'm Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
How are you? So Trump is defying the 1st, 4th,
5th, and 14th, and maybe the 22nd soon.
Okay. So I want to focus on the 1st and the 5th.
Okay.
So you say that Trump is defying the First Amendment. Can you give me an example?
For example, he banned the Associated Press from attending White House events. A Trump-appointed judge said that was against the First Amendment. He's been cracking down on media organizations he doesn't like over their speech. If they say stuff he doesn't like, for example,
cracking down how?
So, for example, he banned the Associated Press from attending White House events because they said it's the Gulf of Mexico. That's not how it works. They were already at the White House.
This dummy thought that it was a good comeback to say, well, if the press aren't allowed into the White House, well, I'm not allowed in there either. Like, that's a coherent argument. That is how dumb this person is. This is how little she thinks of things.
As a brunette, we brunettes do not claim her.
But look at all the men that are in the background as she's speaking. You could see them. They're just kind of covering their face, looking down.
Oh,
this
God.
is an embarrassment because, well, for two reasons.
It really is.
For two reasons. Her presentation, she looks like a leftist because she's got blonde, excuse me, not blonde. She's got purple and pink highlights in her hair. So she looks like a leftist in her presentation. She looks like she does some drugs on the side. So to these men, she is an embarrassment to them in more ways than just one. Number one, number one, she's a woman and they don't believe women should be speaking at events like this. You'll see the misogyny come out as these women start speaking. But here we go.
He deprived them of access, so he punished them for their speech.
But are they allowed to go to the press?
Which is why a judge he appointed, Trevor McFadden, said this was contrary to the First Amendment. A Trump-appointed judge. He's called MSNBC and CNN illegal. Media organizations are not ipso facto
But that's free speech.
illegal.
He can call them whatever they want.
Attacking the media?
Yeah, he can
by the
attack
president
them.
as the executive?
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants. That's literally the First Amendment.
He can say whatever he wants.
Absolutely.
But the media can't say what they want.
They do.
But he's going after them. He's suing them. He's using lawsuits to crack down on the press. Presidents have not done that before.
to give him 34 felonies that Hillary Clinton did.
No media gave him a lawsuit.
No, but people
we're
on the
talking about
Democratic
media.
side.
We don't talk about the Democrats.
Okay. So he can call them whatever he wants because that's the freedom of speech.
He's
He
threatened to imprison reporters.
He absolutely.
He wants to imprison. He said reporters should go to prison for reporting. He threatened some of them with prison rape. Right? That is against the First Amendment.
Okay. How is that against the First Amendment?
You don't think sending reporters to prison for reporting that he doesn't like?
Did he do that?
He wanted to. He said so.
Okay,
I would like them to go.
I would really like to.
So other people stopped him doesn't mean he's not defying the Constitution.
So
he also said if you turn up,
he can want to do something.
Yes.
That doesn't mean he will or he can.
Okay.
And I think he's very.
Well, I've already
aware
given an
of
example of something he did do to the Associated Press, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the Associated Press isn't allowed in the Oval Office, which is his office. That's his executive space.
Okay.
And they are allowed in the press room, just like CNN, just like The Guardian.
Which he thinks are illegal media
Can I
organizations.
interrupt her for a minute?
He can think whatever he wants.
He calls the media the enemies of the people.
You called him a fascist.
Yeah.
you can say whatever you want.
Yes.
Yes.
But the president is. I'm not the president of the United States with executive power to crack down on the media.
The First Amendment only applies to the citizens, but not the president.
I never
of the
said
United
that.
States.
In fact,
so
Donald Trump runs his mouth
say-
more than anyone.
Absolutely, he does.
And he doesn't just say stuff. As I said, he actually does stuff. He actually does crack down. For example, Fifth Amendment.
Yes.
Due process.
Yes.
Judges have actually said you have violated due process.
Yes, except for people kind of forget the Clinton, the 1996 Immigration Reform Act, where you can get limited due process when you have expedited.
American citizens?
No.
What about American citizens?
Who's getting deported? That's American.
2 American children have been deported, multiple this year. Have you not been?
No. Their parents have been deported, and their parents say,
No, the
"I'm
father
going to
was
take
American.
my baby."
No.
Was mom legal?
We don't know because they didn't go to court, and the judge.
They don't have to go to
court.
court.
Yes.
Okay, I believe you had something to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, did she literally just say that the Oval Office, the White House, is Trump's office and he gets to do what he wants in there?
That's what.
No.
That's what she thinks. Yep.
Yeah, no. The White House is owned by the people.
Yeah, I bet
we the people vote who we want in
that
power.
Goes out the window now. That goes out the window, though.
the Oval Office is a public place where we the people.
It's not.
Well, not so much public.
Yeah.
But you do understand what I'm trying to say?
We have access.
Press,
we should have access through the media. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, you and I can't just walk in there anytime we want.
No. Well, obviously not, because it is where the president resides. But we, the people, are the ones responsible for putting the president there.
Let's continue. So now she's making the argument that there doesn't need to be court. There doesn't need to be due process at all. This is her stance. Yeah. She went there.
Yes, there does. No, there doesn't need to be due process.
Are you a lawyer?
I'm very aware of it.
Are you a lawyer?
Do I have to be? Oh, we're making an argument.
Are you a lawyer?
It's
a simple question.
No.
Are you a lawyer?
Okay, we're making an argument.
I'll take that as a no. A Trump-appointed judge.
I'm just looking at the men's faces. I shouldn't call them men. They're a bunch of boys. They're not men. They're not men. They're men in age only, but they're literally embarrassed. And I'm trying to see. I don't see the flag. Where's the flag? Oh, I hope I didn't cut it out. Oops. I guess we'll find out. I'm curious to know where her flag level is at, but I don't.
In the case, not some Marxist lefty judges, you people like to call them, a Trump-appointed conservative judge said it is illegal and unconstitutional to expel or deport an American citizen without meaningful process. He said that in April. So that was an act that Trump did. It wasn't speech. He got rid of an American citizen from the country without process. So that's the Fifth Amendment violation.
Since I'm not up to date on that specific
I can give you
case,
more.
So if you're not up to date, you need to shut the fuck up.
She needs to sit down.
I mean, I'm sorry. She has a very whiny voice.
She's whiny.
Oh, God. Doesn't it grate on your nerves? Let's listen to some more, because she digs her grave even. I think after this, you're going to start seeing flags go up. Let's listen.
I'm sure you can. So.
Well, you weren't aware that American citizens are being deported. It's a pretty big story.
Yeah,
maybe if you read the fake news, you might know.
What?
If you read the fake news, you might know what's going on. A lot of American
how
citizens
would I know what's going
have
on
been
if
deported.
I read fake news? I don't watch CNN or Rachel Maddow. Sorry.
That's why you don't know that your fellow citizens have been deported.
God.
My fellow citizens.
Are they not American citizens haven't been deported?
Okay. When a child goes with their
All right, guys, that's time. Please return to your
Nice to meet
seat.
you.
Nice to meet you.
She literally just
claim
proved
is
his
that immigrants overall are good for America.
Yes.
Okay,
America is built on immigrants coming in.
Now you're going to hear from the one who's on the poster. Blonde in the middle. Here we go. This is her. And believe me, she sounds exactly as she looks.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you, Daniela.
Mehdi.
So in regards to your claim, I just want to start by asking this. Do you care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
That's not true. What's the basis of your claim for that?
Are you talking about people that get naturalized in the process of becoming American?
14th Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It says any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's about 40 to 50 million naturalized
I'm
Americans
aware
in
of
this
that.
country.
She's not aware of that.
But
You didn't seem aware of it because you said
that.
Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you
A
understanding that
awareness?
This is why having good sources of information is so vital and important. She started her diatribe from the first sentence out of her mouth was uneducated, uninformed, misinformed, and was not true. She could not parse in her mind. Immigrants, Americans, they can be the same. They can be the same. She still hasn't gotten it because in her right-wing bubble, immigrants are on par. They're just automatically illegal. If you're an immigrant, you're illegal. But she fucks herself big time. Listen to how she trips over her own tongue.
process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions, it's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
Positively, I would argue.
People like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields that we go to college for, that we get into debt for. And because more blue collar work
Yeah, we know
the cognitive
we know
dissonance.
all of those immigrants who are working, they're day laborers, people who are landscapers, the immigrants who work in the fields, the farmers, the immigrants who do, I guess, low skill work, as we would call it, low skill work. All of those necessary jobs. She went to college, but she can't get a low paying job that these immigrants are actually doing. And she is I'm getting ahead of myself. Keep listening as she keeps digging herself deeper. I cannot believe red flags haven't gone up yet. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, was it the Trump University she went to?
I mean, as dumb as she sounds, nothing surprises me. Nothing. And this goes to show, just because you've been to college does not make you automatically smart. Sorry.
Exactly.
This is sad. This is fucking sad. Let's continue.
Especially in construction, agriculture, and so forth, and the hospitality industry, we cannot get jobs in those fields. So it requires.
Are you looking for a job in construction
I am
or
not.
agriculture?
No, I went
Just
to
joking.
college.
Okay.
Many people here are in college or went to college, and we can't even find.
No, I'm not looking for a job. I'm not looking for a job in construction. I went to college. What?
What does going to college have to do with
people that go to college? They're not in construction. Is that how that works? You can't possibly. Her brain is broken.
Yeah.
Let's just let her dig. Let's let her dig. You know what? I think she's well presenting outwardly, but I think she may be even as dumb or dumber than the last one that was on the stand.
And jobs in our fields, also because of the H-1B visa program as well. But in regards to just your claim about immigrants specifically, we cannot even get jobs to pay for housing.
Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
Okay, is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I
I'm an immigrant and an American, and I employ many American citizens, both naturalized and the ones born here. I employ Americans.
My parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily opposed to immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was born
But you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are Americans?
Not at this moment.
So your parents are not Americans?
Not at this moment.
So hold on, your parents are
they're
not Americans?
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
No, I was born here, and I'm not
You're
opposed
born
to
here,
naturalization.
right?
I never
But are your
said that I'm against naturalization.
Are you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against
you
naturalization.
did. You began. Everyone was here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said America.
Does she not realize Trump is trying to take away birth citizen rights?
She is by definition an anchor baby. She is a United States citizen because her immigrant parents, who are they eventually became naturalized. I guarantee you were not full-fledged naturalized citizens by the time she was born. This woman is so stupid and dumb. She has no idea that she is disqualifying herself from citizenship.
Exactly. Especially with Trump.
Make it make sense.
By
the way,
it doesn't make sense.
By the way, if you want to make clips of this show, like small clips for your own YouTube and TikTok, feel free. Feel free. I should have told you this a while ago. Share it far and wide. If you want to make 3-minute, 5-minute segments, little bites, whatever you found. Dude, the level, she is almost at the top. They want her gone so bad. They are getting her out of there faster than the last one because they're like, we can't let what happened last time. No, get her gone. Dude, why is your flag not? Raise your flag, wave it. They want her gone. She's
any point that she went, she did, and any point that she had, she has just blew it out of the water with her anchor baby bombshell.
And that would also disqualify all of the Trump kids. Every last one of them.
It would.
Every
Trump
last one of them. Every single one of his kids are anchor babies by this definition.
Yeah. Trump wants to get rid of birthright citizens, which means that all of the anchor babies are going to be removed from the country.
good.
Did they not even think of that?
If that's what they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know who it's going to hit? You know who it's going to affect the hardest? It's these right-wing fuckwits.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're just getting what they voted for, so I'm all for it. I hope they get everything they voted for. And I know that sounds harsh.
It is harsh, but you know what? It's a harsh reality. You either wake up to it or get fucked. She's almost done.
Okay.
Americans or immigrants? Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants, you said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
So they
I want
are
to make the
immigrants.
claim that we cannot.
I came here as an immigrant. I'm an
But
immigrant.
at this point, when they came, the United
People
States
aren't happy with the way this is going for you.
the United States economy was not at.
It's better now. The American economy is better than it's been
Not
for
from
many
the-
years.
not from the
And I can say
statistics
that
I
as someone who
see.
doesn't like Donald Trump.
We're
Which
giving
statistics are you
millions
seeing?
and billions of dollars
Which
to
statistics
people
are you
of,
seeing?
minorities as well as
The reason the
immigrants.
economy is doing badly now
That
is
we
Donald
can't-
Trump's
they're
tariff
giving it to
policy.
loans. We
It's
can't
nothing
even
to do
get
with
businesses.
migrants. In fact, the
We can't even
congressional.
start businesses.
I'm an immigrant. I started a business. In
No,
fact,
I understand
in fact,
because the SBA
immigrants
is
are-
giving people
immigrants-
billions
I
of
didn't
loans.
take any loans
They're giving
from
them
SBA.
billions.
I didn't take any loans
I'm not
from
saying you
SBA.
did, but I'm
Okay,
saying
well, I'm
that
saying I did.
statistically speaking, they're giving billions of
So
loans
should we
to
do?
these.
What immigrants
Oh my
are
God.
getting billions of dollars in loans? What immigrants are getting loans? Why is it that they're always in fields doing back-breaking work? Why is it they're always in factories getting minimum wage jobs if they're getting all these loans? Where are all these loans coming from? This moron, I'm telling you, she is, one more flag goes up, she's gone. That is how high the level is. She is embarrassing her side so bad, they want her off that stage. That's what these red flags are for, not because of wrongdoing, not because of, they just want the debate. Yes, they want the debate to end, but they realize it's going bad. If she were dominating this debate and just dog walking Hasan, they'd be enjoying it. But they're doing this because they know it's going bad for them. Let's listen to some more.
Statistics. According to statistics, immigrants are 80% more likely to be entrepreneurs than native-born Americans.
Sure,
They're more likely
absolutely.
to start businesses
No, I'm aware of
and
that.
hire Americans.
No, I'm aware
right?
of that.
Immigrants
But
are
we
more
also-
likely to pay in taxes than take out in benefits.
And
They're more likely to add to innovation and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show. The Congressional Budget Office.
understand- I
Let me just finish my
understand
point and then let you come back
Okay,
in.
go
The
ahead.
Congressional Budget Office, which is bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats both use it. They have said that the immigration surge that you mentioned will lead to an extra $9 trillion of GDP over the next 10 years. That amounts to $65,000 per American household. That's $65,000 for each and every one of you holding up a red flag.
Okay, I
All
understand
right,
that, but
pause. You've been
They
voted
should
out
be
by the
calling them
majority. Please
embarrassment
return to your
flags.
Nice to
seat.
meet you.
She's an embarrassment.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Mehdi. What's going on?
This next guy is so triggered he can barely breathe.
No, which guy is this? Is this the guy
it's
that
the
looks
guy in the
like a
hat.
mob wannabe?
No, no,
The guy
no,
that
no,
looks-
no. He's next. He's next. I only got a short clip of him. You know what?
Okay.
I don't even know if I even got a clip from him because his argumentation was so embarrassingly stupid. There was no entertainment value in it. That's how bad it was. Okay. Backwards cap, pink shirt. Middle row, far left. Pink shirt, backwards hat, middle to all the way to the left as you're looking at it. Let's listen.
Man, nice to meet you. All right, so first, before I start, I need to know what you mean by good. I can talk about the economy, I can talk about culture, I can talk
Great.
about all those things. I need
All
to
of
know
them.
what you mean.
All of them.
All of them.
I'm saying immigrants are good for the economy. They're good for
think lower
culture.
wages are
they're
good for the economy?
society. Where's the lower wages?
What do you mean, where's the lower wages?
Where are the lower wages?
Yeah, so you can
What's
look
the
at
basis for saying there are lower wages?
Sure, so you can look at like the STEM industry. It's been in like a complete and total recession. There's been tons of studies like from the Economic Policy Institute that shows that like companies like Tesla,
What is the steel?
looks like
the
he's-
reason the steel industry is in recession is because China is cornering this market. You should have listened to Willie Nelson, who was trying to save the U.S. steel industry back in the 90s. And you called him a potheads, a dope smoking, bleeding heart liberal. You didn't listen to him then. You should have listened to him. Yeah, it's because we've let foreign industry dominate our markets. And we did that and not because we didn't tariff them enough. God, these people are so stupid. Let's listen to some.
They are.
We've got to get through this. Let's just play the rest of this. I know I'm going to interrupt again. I know I will.
from like Silicon Valley. They engaged in mass firing of workers, around 35,000, but then they hired around 12,000 H-1B visas. And it's kind of just standard economic thinking.
It's not standard economic.
Blame the corporations, the multi-billion-dollar corporations who are doing this. Are you going to blame the game or blame the game player? Which is it? Who's at fault here?
The one in control of the game.
What do immigrants have to do with a recession?
They don't.
Sorry. Moving on.
The vast majority of economists and economic studies suggest that there is a negligible, if no impact on wages over time from immigrants. In fact, your colleague mentioned earlier, construction, there is actually evidence in construction, yes. But in some industries, in some areas, there is an impact. But overall, no. In fact, a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that migrants since 1965 have raised wages and raised innovation.
Who's that by?
National Bureau for Economic Research.
No, that's where you publish studies.
Yes, I didn't memorize the names of the authors.
Yeah, I know you did, right?
Can you give me the authors you've got?
Yeah, hold on. The study you're talking about is from Giovanni Perry, and what he did is he didn't account for aggregation issues, nor did he.
The vast majority of studies.
Let me speak,
please.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So listen, he didn't account for aggregation issues, right? And when you look at like the spatial approach, which is what all these economists use, you're not accounting for the fact that when immigrants come into an area, natives leave. If you look at an occupational approach, where you look at the specific firms that immigration is going into, like Kim, ETAL, 2013 did, you find.
Why are natives? Listen to what he's saying. When immigrants come into an area, natives leave. That's to do with racism, you fuckwit. That's to do with racism and classism.
Exactly.
We don't like minorities, so we're going to go to a richer, classier neighborhood where it's whites only. That's to do with racism. Has nothing to... fuck this guy.
A net negative impact when there's a 10% increase of immigration. You find around a 0.5% decline in wages when it comes to the specific occupations they're going to.
So
all your studies are flawed.
So 0.5%. Weigh that up against what I just mentioned from the Congressional Budget Office, which is a massive boost in GDP per head, which you're not counting for, massive increase in tax revenue, immigrants actually funding the deficits and debts by paying way more in taxes proportionately into the undocumented immigrants. And what's interesting about wages is, I'm in a room full of, I don't know what to call you anymore, conservatives, Republicans, fascists, I don't know. One of you has proudly said that. One of us proudly, correct. I'm in a room full of correct people, but do any of you actually care about wages? Because, for example,
I actually do.
For example, do you support raising the minimum wage?
Absolutely, and you can't do that when you're bringing all these people coming into
that's
your
not
country.
The reason the Republican Party blocks the minimum wage.
You can't raise the minimum wage because of immigrants. This is the argument he's making. You can't bring in immigrants because the corporations won't raise the minimum wage. Who the fuck is in charge of the minimum wage, you goddamn fuckwit? The Republicans in the majority voted against it.
Mm-hmm. Immigrants have got nothing to do with... Yeah. The corporations, the people... No, you're fine. The people who are in charge of the corporations are in charge of the wages going up or down. It's got nothing to do with immigration.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is hurting my...
Yeah, he gets...
This guy is hurting my brain. Oh, jeez.
Republican politicians don't vote for an increase in minimum wage because they're worried about immigration.
Did I say I voted Republican? Did I say I voted Republican?
Well, I'm in a show that was called 25 far-right Republicans.
That doesn't mean I'm going to support every single Republican candidate.
So you and I, good. So you and I, let's agree. We both support raising the minimum wage. Yes,
100%.
$7.25 since 2009. It's lost 30% of its value. If you care about wages, we should be raising the minimum wage in this country, not scapegoating migrants who aren't the cause of low wages in the country. You know who's causing low wages? Billionaires, millionaires, and people who won't pay fair wages to their wages, regardless of whether you are an immigrant or a native born American.
This motherfucker got truth bombed and dog walked, and all he can go is, I mean, motherfucker, you were just given the exact reason why minimum wage hasn't been raised. Who's in charge of the minimum wage? Do you think it goes up automatically on its own? This motherfucker doesn't have a clue of what minimum wage is. If you asked him what minimum wage is, not what the minimum wage is, but what minimum wage is and how it works and how it's implemented, wouldn't have a goddamn clue. He just wouldn't have a clue, because he has a simplistic view very simple, a very childlike view of economics. And Mehdi Hasan was correct. Absolutely correct.
How the hell did he manage to graduate school not knowing how minimum wage works?
I just don't know. I don't know how he graduated at all. I mean, this is a child that was definitely left behind. Yeah, he was left behind in the worst way possible. I mean, this is just shameful. But here we are. We got to deal with skateboarders. And I'm not going to get ahead of it. He goes very dark.
Okay.
Right, now let me respond.
You had one with your one study that had 0.5% impact. Go.
Yeah, and your study sucked that you didn't even know who wrote it, right? So let's get back to the point,
because I don't need
and
to
there
go
it
one
goes
study.
again. The
majority of studies say that wages are not impacted by migration.
The majority of your studies are flawed. That's what I'm telling you.
My studies.
Right.
Neither of us are economists. It's the economist studies.
Don't assume who I am.
Are you an economist?
I could be.
But are you?
I could be.
Are you?
I'm not going to tell you.
Are you?
I'm going to major in economics, right?
Are you an economist?
No, not right now.
Okay, so when I said neither is economist, I was correct.
Just don't assume.
To use your favorite word.
See here, dude, this is nothing of substance. You look at the red flags; they're coming up. Let me get to the point.
But
so when you talk about the CBO, one thing you're not accounting for here is that they're assuming an equilibrium, right? Do you know what that means? You shouldn't make these type of assumptions. You said earlier that unemployment.
Do I know what it means? I thought we're not doing assumptions.
Okay, hold on. You mentioned we were at 4.2% unemployment. Yeah, that's counting people who have part-time jobs. That's counting poverty wages.
Always been counted.
Yeah,
I'm against poverty wages. Can we agree again?
Yes. If you go to the Logood Institute, they calculated a way where it's functional unemployment. Okay. If you account for things like just people who make around $25,000 a year, people who have fallen out of the labor market, people who only work part-time, if you count all of those people together and then add on the unemployment, that's around 25% of the population. So when you go, we don't have jobs, we don't have people to do this, and that, and the other. No, yes, we do. Okay, we don't have a labor shortage. We have a good job shortage. And when you keep bringing these people in, and they're taking those jobs.
The good job shortage is the fault of big firms, employers. I'm an employer. I can say that.
Who hires the immigrants?
Who hires the immigrants?
Yeah.
Employers.
Exactly. So when you bring up these big firms, that's the way they keep wages down. You understand that, right?
So let me ask you a question. If you got rid of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium, you think that Republicans and employers of big firms would suddenly raise all the wages?
You notice that's how you didn't answer what I said.
That's what you believe.
It was a complete. Your
that's what you believe.
You pivoted the hell away from the conversation.
Is that what you? I'm on the subject.
Okay?
Do you believe that wages? I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages and the federal wage if we stop immigration?
They will be forced to. When you increase labor's relationship.
Who the fuck does he think is going to force them? This child, it takes government action to force corporations to do certain things. This stupid motherfucker.
It is. I'm sorry, I had to hide behind my glasses for the embarrassment of this younger generation. Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
I have
this
no
guy
words.
Came straight off the skateboard park just to come to this debate. The flags are going up. They're like, oop, 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 oop. He started strong. They like to hear all the buzzwords that they're used to hearing. And then when Mehdi Hasan is just knocking each pin over one after another, they're like, oh, time to end this. That's what it is.
To capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're tightening the supply of labor.
This is a very simplistic understanding of economics because you're
explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong. Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through their presence.
About 1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like US aid, foreign aid. So this is the point. They create jobs. I came into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit about how America.
I'm going to replay that little bit because I think it bears repeating. This fucker, listen to what he says.
Employers of big firms just suddenly raise all the wages.
You notice
that's
how
what
you didn't answer what I said. You
that's
notice
what you
how
believe.
It was a complete. Your
That's what you believe.
You pivoted the hell
that's what
away
you
from
believe.
the conversation.
Is that what you? I'm on the subject.
Okay?
do you believe that wages, I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages and the federal wage if we stop immigration?
They will be forced to. When you increase labor's relationship to capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're tightening the supply of labor.
This is a very simplistic understanding of economics because you're
explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong. Because you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through their presence.
1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like US aid, foreign aid. So this is the point. They create jobs. I came into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
You push your left-wing politics.
I never said Americans are lazy.
I don't know why you say this.
I never said Americans are lazy.
Yes, you are.
You're
saying immigrants have to come into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do. That's exactly what you said.
When did I say it?
Oh, really?
When did I say it? It's on
why
YouTube. Guys watching on YouTube, rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? Words that came out of my mouth.
Okay, so why do we have to bring in immigrants to the country if we have people who are going to do the jobs?
Pause. You've been voted out.
It's nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
You're going to have to go, bro.
Nice talking to you. You're going to have to go, bro, is what he said as I left, to an American citizen. Good to know where you stand on immigration. It's not about immigration, is it? That's what it's not about.
Yeah, he said that. He said that shit. He was getting dog walked. He was getting embarrassed. He hated it and decided...
So he went on the attack.
No, he just... Yeah, he just went complete, total fuckwit fascist. I'm telling you, these Nazis do not care how they look. They don't care how they present. They don't care how embarrassing they are and how stupid their ideology is. If you're not white, get out. And now we're going to hear from Mr. Hat and Stupid Stash. Go ahead,
Before we do, I'd
finish your thought.
Yeah, I've noticed with these fascists, they don't care how they sound because they think they're making a good point. They think they're coming across as being clever and they're not. I think they've got delusions of grandeur, thinking... You know, they think they know better than everyone else. They think they're better than everyone else. And they're an embarrassment. They are a true cringy embarrassment.
I've said that, and I am almost out. I just don't know if I'm going to make it through this next. Well, actually, no. The next clip is so mercifully short. It's 3 minutes long.
Okay.
And then we're done.
Okay.
We
got this.
Gone into overtime, but this is important. I felt this was so important that we hear what these fuckwits actually think. We're only getting a small window into their ideology. Remember, this isn't the end-all be-all.
Yeah. My allergies.
My brain cells listening to these idiots.
Oh, they're setting my allergies off.
But yeah, it's important that we hear them in their own words because we need to know what they think, how they think. You know, there is no middle ground to be had with these people.
But there's not.
You cannot. I'm sorry, there is no moderate position. What is the moderate position between Nazis and democracy? Where's that middle ground? Where do you find middle ground with fascists?
No.
Well, fascists are for wiping out entire people of certain ideology. Well, let's take the moderate approach. How about only just some? We're okay with them wiping out some.
No.
Does that make any sense?
There is no moderate approach. There is no common ground to have with fascists. There is no common ground to have.
Oh, let's listen.
I'm sorry.
Let's listen to this moron from Iran.
Hey, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. How are you?
Not bad. So, what type of immigrants are we talking about?
What do you mean?
Like any immigrants or
that's what I said. Immigrants
are illegal
overall.
immigrants.
Undocumented immigrants also contribute greatly to the U.S. I say undocumented. I don't think people are illegal.
So, let's put it this way. I mean, I'm an immigrant too, from Iran.
Okay.
There isn't even
How
a
do you
U.S.
feel about the fact that people here want you out? Are you okay with that?
I'm here to debate you, not debate them.
I mean, you're all on the same side. You're part of one group.
No.
You've been clapping each other.
No, I mean, there are conservatives here. There are far right people.
he got really sheepish as soon as he said, "What do you think about your people that you support? People within your own group who want you out?" And then they pan the camera over to some stone face guy just looking like, and I'm like, perfect shot, perfect. It encapsulates the attitude particularly well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue.
People here, the Republicans.
But how do you feel about that guy wanting me and you to leave?
But I'm just
wondering. This is the topic of immigration.
It's not
how
about
do you feel about the guy?
It's not about my feelings towards them.
Okay.
It's about staying on this topic.
Okay.
And
immigrants are good for America. Yeah. You and me, we're good for America. And the guy over there wants us to leave. So I'm just wondering how you feel about that.
So I believe that there has to be strict immigration laws.
Okay.
We have to make sure that the people are coming here have the good intent of the United States in mind.
That's not my claim, but okay.
So
the good intent. What exactly is the good intent? See, this is why it's important. Hasan, I have a few, it's very hard. I could not survive doing what he's doing with a clear head. I couldn't do it. I wish Hasan would have stopped right there and said, okay, wait a minute, stop. Let's explore this. What do you mean by good intent? And I don't think he pursued it. He may have picked up on it. I'm sure he did. And he's like, you know what? We don't have time. Let's just go on to the next. I mean, it's really hard to pick and choose what you want to focus on. It really is.
I know, but it would have been nice, like you said, for him to explore that good intent a bit further.
Exactly.
To delve a bit deeper into the mindset of these
and just keep asking
fascists.
Questions. Dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper. Okay, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? Okay, you said this. Okay, what does that mean to you? Because
yeah, it needs to be delved in.
Let's move on.
My claim is about immigrants are net positive.
If you just open our borders to every single person that wants to be here, that claims that they have economical hardship in their country.
Who's calling for open borders?
No, I'm just saying,
it's a straw man, so you're just saying a straw man.
No, I'm saying
you're wasting time with a straw man. No one's calling for open borders. I didn't call for open borders.
You wasted time.
Immigrants you
wasted time trying to cause division between me and my
division.
friends
He wants you to leave the country. That's a pretty big deal. All right. I mean, you can ignore it, but that's your side, my friend.
Like I said, you were the one that tried to derail this.
The flags are going up right now. They do not want him speaking on their behalf.
Vote him off the island.
White Nazis do not want this guy speaking on their behalf. Not only are they racist against this man, they don't want him speaking because they know he's not speaking on a talking point that they want to hear from.
Nope. He's going to drop them in
argument by bringing that.
It's literally core to my argument. I'm saying immigrants are good to America. People on your side are saying we should leave. Not me.
And
me and
I asked you, what type of immigrants are we talking about? Are we
immigrants
talking about
overall?
So
I mean, we're not going to. You want me to get into like particular communities? I'm not playing that.
So
game.
You believe that people that come here without
overall
any respect,
help the society,
without any respect to our laws and our border, are going to be good for this country?
No, of course not.
So you can't say that all immigrants overall.
I never said all immigrants. I said immigrants overall. Immigrants overall doesn't mean all immigrants. Sorry to break that to you.
All right. So we have to make sure that the people who are coming here have the good intent of this country in mind. Agreed?
Yes.
Agreed. Stop. Ask the question. What does good intent mean? He's just said it twice. This is no
I know.
Slam on
it's infuriating.
Hasan, but it is infuriating that we don't explore what he means by good intent.
No, I agree.
All right,
it is infuriating.
But when you have undocumented immigration going on, you can't vet that. You can't make sure about that. Let me real quick, talk about my background. There is no American embassy in Iran. So in order to come here, you have to stay in line for 4 years, and you have to go through some serious vetting procedure to get here. But I made it. And that process has to be in place because you don't want terrorists to fill this country.
I made it too. I'm an American citizen. I went through lots of vetting. I took my test.
And that's how it should be.
The guy over there wants us to leave.
But
he wants us to leave.
When
so people don't really care about vetting, do they?
The camera was over Hasan's shoulder at the fuckwit who made that claim, who wants them to leave, and he's doing this, nodding.
Was he a nodding dog?
He's a fucking Nazi fascist. It's not about immigration. It's not about legal immigration. They want it majority white. They don't care if they have to scale back the laws that allow certain people in. They want it cut off. This is what this is why we couldn't accept Jews. Excuse me. This is why we didn't accept Jews in the 1930s. We could have avoided the Holocaust altogether had we just opened our borders to these people. But because we had an America First agenda, we had certain laws that were not. They should have been broken anyway. They should have been broken. Yeah. There should have been governors who said, you know what? You land your ships in our ports. We're going to take you in. We don't give a fuck what the law says. Several ships of Jews that were on their way from Berlin were turned back. Turned back because we had reached our quota of immigrants for the year. And we used quotas as an excuse to turn away Jews during the Holocaust, as the Holocaust was ramping up.
Yeah. That was around... Yeah.
I'm going to back this up because I want to hear some more. I want to hear him embarrass himself yet again. Let's listen to some more.
It would save so many lives if they'd open the borders.
Excuse me, like we're doing now. We could have we could be saving more lives today, right now, if we allowed more asylum seekers in. But because we've made the criteria so high to reach, legitimate claims are being stamped no, and we're sending people back. It even happened under Biden. I'm not just criticizing the Trump administration.
Oh yeah,
Obama did it, and so did Joe Biden. But we followed law. It wasn't just, we don't like this person, we don't like this person, send them back.
What's
happening right now?
Trump is what the Trump administration is doing right this second. Okay.
Process has to be in place because you don't want terrorists
to
fill this country.
I made it too. I'm an American citizen. I went through lots of vetting. I took my test.
And that's how
the guy
it
over there
should be.
wants us to leave.
But
he wants us to leave.
When people
don't really care about vetting, do they? It's not really about vetting, is it, my friend?
People should not have People should not have the right to ignore our borders and our laws.
What about those of us who don't ignore the borders? Should we get to stay?
Of course.
But he says we shouldn't.
Well, I'm not debating him.
You kind of are because you're all together on this.
No, I'm debating you.
Okay. And I'm pointing out to you that your argument is in bad faith because these guys are actually speaking the truth and you're in denial about who's on your side. He wants you gone.
I never claimed that I'm on their side or they're on my side. Okay. I'm here to debate you.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Nice to meet you.
I can't even.
I could have uploaded 20 more minutes of this, and you can say we're at 2 hours. I still cannot. Oh God, go away. Commercials.
I honestly,
with this, even within an hour program of this debate, you should have seen how many commercials I had to dodge just to get these clips. I kid you not. I had to erase entire clips and start over just to make sure that the majority of the commercials weren't in them. That's how bad
it has come so bad now. There is more commercial time than there is program.
It's all about selling
the sad
products.
Times we live in.
Yeah, it's all about the products. That's all it is. And these fascist fuckwits are ushering in the Fourth Reich, and they're pleased as punch. They're happy. Even the people that would be hurt the worst, like the Iranian guy. There were 2 Iranians that showed up to the debate and who debated, and they got voted out. You saw how quickly this guy barely lasted. Yeah. He didn't even last 4 minutes. He was gone. And Mehdi Hasan is saying, look, you and I did it the right way. Whatever your argument is, it's moot. We did it the right way. Your fascist fuckwit, this guy, he wants you gone.
Yeah.
And people that think like him. and he was nodding along and saying, yes, it's true.
He was like a naughty dog.
They do not care how it looks.
No,
They're
they don't.
happy and proud in their fascism. By the way, fat fuck on the top, and yes, I did body shame, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Fuck you, whoever says, don't you body shame. Don't care. I will happily body shame this fascist fat fuck. And I'll say it again. Don't care. This guy lost his job immediately as soon as his clips went viral about being proud of being a Nazi and being counted as a Nazi, lost his job. Immediately fired.
He should lose his job.
Yeah. And I would like to
Should be
hear
fired.
more stories. I want to see more stories. I want to know where they end up 5, 10, 15 years down the road. By the way, fat fuck, fascist, went to Give, Send, Go, the Christian website, the equivalent to GoFundMe, and raised $20,000 within a week. $20,000.
That's sickening.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't want to hear any... I don't care about the economy anymore for these fuckwits. We can't find jobs. We can't find work. Somebody's got money because they're giving it to you. You must be doing okay. You must be doing A-okay. If you've got time and you've got money to send to Kyle Rittenhouse, officers who've been absolute fascist fuckwits who brutalized private citizens, unarmed citizens, you can send them money all day long, but then you come and cry poor here. You cry poor about the economy. Oh, well, the economy is so bad. Well, you know what? Obviously, it isn't that bad. It can't be. How is it that bad? No. And yet you've got all this money. Somebody
may
tell me how that works.
May I distract you for a second, our lovely host? I have sent you a meme that I think you are going to find hilarious in the Google chat.
Will I?
Yeah, I know this is going to make you laugh.
If I can move it. So what I'm trying to do is move everything. Yo, get back over here. Get back. So I'm trying to keep OBS Studio on one side. There it is. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. Here, look into the light. Memory hole. Mind eraser. Yeah, so yeah, this picture, yeah, exactly. That picture of that we were just looking at, she's just bored out of her mind. It's like, this is too much information. I can't do this anymore. Yeah, that is her personality. Did I not call it?
If it was too much information, then she needs to stay away from coming up on debates.
But
because you need a plethora of information.
Unfortunately, we need to hear from these people. We need to hear who they are. We need to see who they are.
Yeah, no.
We need to know what they think. We need to know how they're going to act in society, so that we can put like warning labels around them and say, you know what? Yikes.
You know, for our next show, I want us to see if we're able to find people who are willing to delve deeper into the exceptional circumstances.
Say that again?
Their reason for wanting to do something. My brain is like jello because of all the cognitive dissonance. I can't even think sort of coherently at the moment.
No, I get it. But we definitely need to hear more from them. We need to, again, I want to hear exactly what they think. We need to, and people are delving deep into this. This is being studied by professionals, thankfully. And there is there's an excellent book that I've got. I haven't ordered it yet, but it's on my list. It's called The Hate Next Door. It's about white supremacy in this country. It's about this entire ideology that we just heard from, all of these fuckwits that we heard from. It delves into their thought processes It delves into their twisted logic. And, it basically, well, anyway. I could go on and on and on, but we need to end the show. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been the Biblical History Skeptics. Today's show, when fascist twits come out to play. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for your patience.
Thank you for
I know
having
this
me.
was a long one, 2 hours. For those of you who made it to the end, we thank you. If you could please consider supporting us as independent media, we would like to be in your ears more often. Make the show happen by supporting us. You can support us through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and become a Patreon subscriber. We would love to have you. We need support we can rely on. That's where it happens. That's where the magic happens. And if you could do that, we would be that much appreciative. Thank you so much.
We would.
And we will see you on the next show. It might happen sooner than you think.
Please like, share, and subscribe.